Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women.
Oftentimes, we talk so much about the success of something that we don't highlight how important failure can be. Failure is what gives us those real life lessons. And until you've experienced that, you can't truly understand what success means. Because through failure, we begin to understand who we are, what we're made of, what we're willing to do to become successful. Failure is only an event. It does not define you. All it does is create new opportunities for you to succeed. Once one door closes, more will open. But you need to believe that. You need to live life now. Risk everything for your dreams. No matter what the results are, trust in yourself that you will find a way to become successful. In this life, we do not fear failure. We embrace the opportunities that come from it. Think about everything that has been created in this world. If people would have given up after one failure, what would we have? We would literally have nothing. We do not fear failure. We grow from it, we learn from it, and we move on. Life is too short for you to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to surround yourself with anything but positivity. And that's what we need to talk about now, dealing with toxic people. Now, we can't change all of our relationships, but we can change some. Some of us might come from families that are not supportive, and some of us come from families and have friends that are very supportive. And that's what we need to figure out now. Who is helping you? Who truly supports you as a person? Who wishes you all the success in the world? Those are the people you need to be around. Those are the people you need to stay connected with. I want you to think about 5 people that you talk to or hang out with the most. Of those 5 people, how many of them are positive influences on your life? How many of those people are helping you build the foundation to your success? For the people who are not, are you willing to cut them out of your life? Is it worth having people around you that don't believe in you? Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. And until you can change who you let around you and how much they influence you, you will continue down the same path. But the time is now. You can no longer let negative influences impact your goals. Your new chapter starts right now. Think about the positive people. Think about building with them, connecting with them, because they will be the positive influence that you need to help succeed in your life. They will be the driving force for you to live your best life.
Today, I want to review some information I discussed in previous shows. The information I want to review is why people fail, the influence of negative thinking and the influence of negative people, the importance of motivation, how to stay motivated, how we need to commit to developing our self image, and how our behavior is affected by our internal dialogue. These are extremely important topics to understand and to incorporate in your life. How much money you make for your entire life depends upon your behavior. The type of house you can purchase, the type of car you can buy, whether you can help your children go through college, all depends upon your behavior. In fact, the very lives of your children depend on your behavior. Whether or not you let non related males live with you can put your children's lives in jeopardy. Behavior you think is inconsequential can have a devastating effect on your children, and also you will be trapped in poverty for the rest of your life, all because you refuse to change your behavior. If you lie in your relationships, you need to stop lying. If you cheat in your relationships, you need to stop cheating. You need to stop borrowing money from friends and family, money that you have no intentions of paying back. Once you get a reputation of being a cheater and a liar, people will never accept you as an honest person again. No one. And someday your very life will depend on someone trusting and believing in you. Your car may not be working one particular day and you will need to get to the hospital, and no one will take you because you lied and cheated in the past. None of the women at work will introduce you to their male friends, brothers, cousins, whatever, because they know you are a liar and a cheat. You sit at home wishing you had a nice boyfriend, someone to go to the movie, take you out to dinner. But all the women around you know you have no morals and that you will take anyone to bed. They know you disrespect your children. You walk around like you are a good mother, but none of your children can read. You can't stay out of the bar. You have no self-control. You are always buying clothes that you can't afford. And your children suffer when they turn the lights off, and they have to constantly move because you don't pay the rent on time like you should. You have spent your entire life envying other women and being jealous because of their derriere or their breast, instead of trying to develop yourself and your life to live decently. This is what this show is all about, to get you to think about your conduct and change for the sake of your children. People are primarily being defeated because of two things: negative internal dialogue and the discouraging words of negative people. I want you to picture yourself as a pitcher of water. You are sitting on the counter and you have ice in your pitcher, which means your water should be cool and soothing and delightful to drink. Now you're sitting on the counter and everyone that you meet takes a drink from your pitcher. After a while, what happens? There is no more water left in your pitcher. You are dried up. You are no longer attractive. People pass you by. Who wants or needs a pitcher with no water in it? Now, consider this. Supposing the people that you met take a drink from your pitcher, but then they put water back into your pitcher, or they add some more ice to your pitcher. You stay refreshed. When people add water to your pitcher or add ice to your pitcher, you are refreshed, and that helps to sustain you. They add to your life force. But when you allow people to continue to take from you and add nothing to your life, then you die inside and you become less effective, and finally you give up. You must improve your self esteem so you do not tolerate this type of abuse. You do not allow people to continuously take from you and never give you anything back. Poor self esteem and a poor self image comes from some form of abuse. Sometimes it is sexual abuse that is being ignored by your mother when she meets another boyfriend. She gives her new boyfriend the best piece of chicken, and you get the neck and back and chicken feet. She feeds him first and gives him the last of the Kool-Aid, and you get water. Your mother wakes in the morning smoking a joint, and you have no food for breakfast. She sends you to the dope house to buy marijuana for her boyfriend. Your mother and grandmother constantly tell you you are no good and you're going to be just like your father who is in prison. Your mother fails to realize it is her responsibility to form you into a well adjusted human being. You need to fix this situation. You need to seek professional counseling and work on developing your self esteem so you will no longer abuse yourself or allow others to abuse you. You must stop the constant badgering of yourself. You must stop telling yourself that you are stupid. No one will like you. No one will go out on a date with you. No one will hire you. You must stop verbally abusing yourself. You you must make it a priority to work on your self-esteem. Now, you can keep yourself motivated if you encourage yourself. The word encouragement comes from the Latin word cor, which means heart. It is defined as giving courage, hope, or confidence. Having courage means to be able to cast aside your fears and to be brave. The simplest way to be fearless and to be brave is to listen to your heart and to follow your guidance. One must be able to encourage oneself in order to achieve success. One way to motivate yourself is to use the power of self encouragement. Do something that you enjoy and that you are passionate about. It makes you feel great about yourself and it pushes you toward living a happier life. It is the feelings of achieving goals that make them so fulfilling. The most important part of establishing the foundation of self encouragement is to focus your attention on the feelings that come with achieving your goals and living the life that you want. There is no reason to do something that doesn't compel you to do it. If you have to force yourself to do something, it probably isn't right for you. That includes sex. You should know instinctively whether or not something is right for you instinctively based on the way it makes you feel. Makes you feel bad, don't do it. Before you set a goal or embark on a new activity, you should ask yourself a few questions. Why do I want to achieve this goal? What are the underlying feelings that it will give me? What does it mean to me to fulfill this goal? Is the feelings enough to compel me to stay motivated? An important part of self encouragement and motivation is to take a few steps back and acknowledge your progress. Take the time to recognize your achievements. We so often get caught up in what has not been done that we forget the things that we have done and we lose focus on what really matters. If you're having trouble seeing personal progress and staying motivated, write out a list of all the things that you have achieved. The list should give you a fresh perspective on your life and the progress that you make towards your goals. I have done this all my life. I've always made a list of everything that I want to do, and then later on I'd go back and check off what I've succeeded at doing. You will be surprised how a list can help you. One of the best ways to acknowledge your hard work is to reward yourself when you reach a significant goal. Rewarding yourself will build confidence and motivation. Make certain to celebrate when you reach your goals. You earn this after all. Rewards also help to provide closure to the energy that was created when reaching the goal. If you don't take time to acknowledge yourself for having completed the goal, it becomes unfinished business. Even though you reached your goal, there will be some energy left behind because you're feeling that you aren't doing everything that you can. This is why each goal has to be a separate entity, not interlocked with one another. Put together some reward that you can give yourself for reaching your goals. The reward should be tangible, something that you see, having dinner with a friend, purchasing a new outfit, pampering yourself at a spa or on a holiday. It could also be intangible reward, such as telling yourself how great you feel after accomplishing your goal. The feeling of achieving your goals are often the best possible reward there is for getting something done. The feeling of heightened self belief and self confidence and self worth that comes with achieving your goal is priceless. Another great way to encourage yourself is to show gratitude to the things that you've got into your life already. Sometimes we can get caught up in all the things that we have not done that we forget what we have done in our lives, what we have accomplished. It takes time to focus away from all the good and positive things that we have done. If you aren't able to find some positive things about yourself, then it's recommended that you keep a pad and pencil by your bed. Each night before you go to sleep, write down what happened to you that day and what you're grateful for. You'll soon have developed an entire different perspective, or not on yourself, but also your life and the people and things around you you would have noted. Dale Carnegie did this every time he returned home, and eventually this habit led him to write several important books that have influenced people for tens, 20, 30 years. One of Dale Carnegie's books is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is still being sold today. Prior to writing his books, Dale Carnegie was considered a failure. By following some of these suggestions should help keep you self-motivated and keep you on track for achieving your goals. We all have many plans for the future since an early age, and our fantasy is wide. The variety of dreams are countless. We are thinking for opportunities and ways to ascend in life with the hope of success so that we can show the world that we made it. But not always things go as expected. There are moments when we do a small mistake and our life is ruined in front of us for a short period of time. We can't expect everything to be as planned. Life is full of challenges. We share our dreams to everyone with the belief that some people will support us while in reality they stab us in the back. Oftentimes, the reason for our failure is ourselves because we select the wrong friends to encourage us, or we listen to the wrong people. Since most people have blind trust, which is not good, nothing is simple. When you feel like you've lost faith, your enemies will laugh at you and make you feel worthless. We are the teachers of our life. We are the art which we create in our lives. We create the perfection. Failure is part of our success since we learn from our mistakes and we know what to do in the future. Even if you must repeat yourself many times, say, I can do it, I can do it, then turn around and do it. The others people may laugh at your words, but at the end they will be the ones which will fail and you will be the winner. You will be the one who created the miracle and made it, and you will show the people that did not believe in you that you made it and that they were foolish for not supporting you. While you're growing, these people will keep falling down, and soon, eventually, sometime in their life, they will be sorry for forecasting gloom and doom, and not only into your life, but into their life. Granted, you may lose your house and you may lose your mate, but you must realize the world is big. We meet many people. We communicate with many people. We create friendships every day. And we can create a family anytime that we want. There are people who mean a lot to us, even if we meet many more new personalities later on in life. We share our secrets, we share our desires, we share our tears with our mates who mean everything to us. We travel with them, we talk to them always, we laugh with them, we accept them in our own families as family members, we invite friends into our home, we enjoy them for a moment as much as we can. After many years of friendship, we can accept the fact that some of our friends are not that. They are not friends. They are envious and hateful people. Until the time comes when we lose that person, that mate, or that house, how do we find peace from that tough reality where fantasy might become a reality? When a person dies, that is the ultimate sacrifice, causing you to realize just what your life is like in time and space. It is going to take a challenge to your patience, to your mental power, and to your faith. But you must stand up and fight back the tears in the name of your friendship or in the name of the person that died. And you must continue to grow. You must continue to evolve. You must continue to seek out people. Do not close yourself off. Do not become depressed. Betrayal is something else that you have to fight with motivation. The betrayal from the person's so-called brother from another mother can easily destroy the home of your imagination. But that is a test as well. In the cruel world, only you can make it beautiful because you have to depend on your own skills, which you have created during your lifetime. You need alone to prove to yourself that you do not need any traitors in your life. Nothing should stop you from your own goal, which is very close to your hands to obtain. It just waits for you to go out and get this goal. Do not allow a traitor to cause you to give up. So you should expect your wife, your brother, your sister, your mother, anyone can betray you. Now, how to motivate yourself when you're fighting poverty. Poverty is never expected when it reaches us. Poverty is the injustice people receive for crimes they did not commit. Everyone has to go through poverty in order to get out of their misery. The idea of battling poverty is just to be patient. No matter how much you earn in your work, if you create a limit for your spending, with your savings, slowly, surely you will be able to get out of this economic crisis. Do not create false thoughts in your mind that poverty will break you down. Patience is the key to success. Have faith in yourself, since you must be the one who can reach the top in time. Soon, without realizing, you will be there in no time. You are just steps away, even in the future. Like, who knows? You may help the world with your savings and make a donation to a poor child across the world who suffered from crisis as well. Your small donation can save a life, no matter what the distance. But of course, you must not forget to help yourself as well, since you must overcome the situation that you are in. Poverty does not have to break you. You must not give up until you take your very last breath. If there's any will in you, then you will find a way to survive. You must also fight back mentally when you have lost your job and you're facing depression and despair, or that you've lost people in your life. Depression and despair are probably the worst emotional feelings anyone can experience. People have this inside feeling that the world is ruined and that they have nothing to do. They're looking for a job but still can't find anything. Then they must try again and again and again until they find the perfect job they want. There is the internet, there's the Bureau of Labor, and many other opportunities to find work. But here's the most important thing. Regardless of what the job is, take the first job coming because you want to keep money in your pocket. I don't care what the job is. If it's washing dishes, working at McDonald's, you want to make certain that you keep enough gas in your car to keep you going. If you are not a risk taker, you will not find work. It's odd, but if you have money, then money will come to you. If you have a job, another job will come to you. So what you need to do is look for any job that will keep gas in your car, keep food in the home. You must avoid feelings of depression and despair because that will stop you from succeeding. Without taking a risk, you cannot be 100% sure if you will make it or not. Take the risk or lose the chance. The choice is yours. But you must say to yourself that you will remove all negative thoughts from your mind. You're not going to stay a dishwasher. You're not going to stay at McDonald's. But the point of it is you do not want to find yourself on the street without any money. You don't stop submitting resumes. You don't stop going on interviews, even if you are working as a dishwasher at night. You don't care. But money in your pocket helps you keep your self-respect. Besides, as long as your friends see you driving around town in a car, then they will not look down their nose on you. You don't have to tell them that you lost your job. But the most important thing is you keep encouraging yourself. And you should also ask yourself, do you need to go back to school and learn another trade? Just because you were once a teacher does not mean you have to stay a teacher. Just because you were once a plumber does not mean you have to stay a plumber. Just because you were once a factory worker does not mean for the rest of your life you have to be a factory worker. You must be prepared to make changes when you lose your job. You could go to the library, sit down and read about other occupations and see if you can find something that you're interested in that keeps you motivated. This way, you can always feel you have a way out. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support.
Women all over the world are made to believe it's a man's world. In other words, a lot of social and societal systems and structures favor men than women. As a result, most women choose to live as second-class citizens. A lot of women are stuck with situations they could easily change, but because of the belief system imposed on them by the society, they have resigned to fate and chosen to live and suffer in silence. Listen, woman, your life is yours and should not be subjected to the opinion of others. Their opinion is just what is it, an opinion, and the good news is you are not bound by it. Because your life is yours, you are responsible for all your successes and defeats. If you believe it's time to liberate yourself and reach for your great destiny, then you need to get a copy of You Are the Prophet of Your Life. The book will not only help you become what you have always wanted to be, it will show you how to overcome your limitations and reach for your target. It will also help you with self-analysis, so that you can be able to identify what need to change in the way you live your life.
Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
An internal dialogue, or self-talk, or the inner speech, is a person's inner voice. It is a running verbal monologue that a person has with himself or herself while they are conscious. Therefore, an internal dialogue can be explained roughly as an inner conversation that people have with themselves. The discussion that we have with ourselves is usually tied to our sense of self. These monologues can be characterized as planning, problem solving, self reflection, self image, critical thinking, emotions, and sub vocalizations. We talk to ourselves every day, all day. When this dialogue becomes negative or critical, it contributes to a psychological disorder, including depression, anxiety, and a number of other mental disorders. Your internal dialogue, or your interspeech, is quite simply your thoughts. It is the little voice in your head that comments on your life, whether that is what is going on around you or what you are thinking consciously or subconsciously. That's the conversation that you have with yourself when you call yourself stupid, or I shouldn't have done that. Oh boy, I wonder what people are thinking. Please note that your inner conversations are comments that you make for or against yourself. You become a critic for or against you. All of us have an internal dialogue, and it runs all the time as long as we are awake. Some of us, however, pay more attention to it than others, and we become skilled at manipulating our internal dialogue. It is the way in which we apply logic to what is happening around us, although the logic may sometimes be skewed or driven by your emotions or your experience. But what you think and the language you use can affect your mood, your self-confidence, and your self-esteem, and it can cause you to fail. Your internal dialogue can affect your confidence and your self-esteem. Your internal dialogue can therefore be both helpful and unhelpful. Internal dialogue becomes a problem when it is unhelpful. If you are inclined to be anxious, your internal dialogue can reinforce your anxiety. Some commentators suggest that anxiety can also upset your internal dialogue by creating a vicious cycle. Just as smiling makes you feel happy, being exposed to negative language and unhappy thoughts can affect your mood. This includes your internal dialogue if you tend toward beating yourself up. In other words, you spend the entire day calling yourself stupid or silly. or you spend your entire day telling yourself that you're silly, people don't like you, nobody will want you, you can't ever get married, you'll never hold down a good job. Being able to have a positive internal dialogue and look on the bright side can help you feel more positive, and it will improve your mood. You must learn to manage your internal dialogue. It's important for both your mental well being and your success in life. You need to become more aware of your internal dialogue. This is important when you need to know what you are saying to yourself. You need to pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. If you begin to speak negatively to yourself, how do you feel? Your thoughts can make you sick and apprehensive. So, if you become sick during the day, where you develop a headache or an upset stomach, you need to pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. The bathroom is an excellent place to recover. Sit on the toilet, take a deep breath, and think about what you're saying to yourself. The bathroom is a perfect retreat. You need to sit there and talk to yourself or recite certain biblical verses that help you, where you bring yourself back under control. Some of us are very aware of our internal dialogue. It's a constant presence in the brain or even an ongoing conversation. Others are much less so and may find it harder to tune in. One way to become aware of your internal dialogue is to try doing some meditation, because this helps you to concentrate on your thoughts. On Sunday, when I was worried and upset, I would go to church and fall asleep during the service holding my child. That was the best sleep. That hour helped bring me peace. When I left the church, I was revived. I felt safe. I was able to get rid of the negative internal dialogue. This was a time when I was living in my house and I could not afford to purchase gas to heat my home. I heated a portion of my home by turning on the oven. I had an electric stove. We slept in the room right off from the kitchen. I stopped worrying about not being able to heat the entire house. I just concentrated on getting up in the morning and going to work and paying my house note. I defeated my negative internal dialogue. I concentrated on what I could do, not on what I couldn't do. To find rest from your daily internal dialogue means you need to learn how to meditate during the day. You need some quiet time during the day. You need some verses that you can recite to yourself during the day. You need to have a list of positive affirmations that you say to yourself during the day. And you also need to have a list of things that you're grateful for. Remembering these affirmations and reciting what you are grateful for will help you. Now, there is a technique that you can use to make yourself consciously aware of your internal dialogue, and that is to think, I wonder what my next thought will be. Whether this interrupts your internal dialogue or just distracts your brain, it helps to give some space for the brain to become aware of what is happening. What you are chiefly trying to become aware of is the type of thoughts you tend toward having, where your internal dialogue goes as if you let it wander. This can give you a good idea of what is bothering you at any given time, whether you tend to think positively or negatively. Your dominant time orientation, which is past, present, or future, and your motivation, whether you tend to think about wanting more good things or fewer bad things, or whether you spend time trying to understand how things relate to one another. When you begin to have negative dialogue, you need to change your internal dialogue. Once you become more aware of what you are thinking and saying to yourself and the kinds of patterns that your thoughts tend to make, you can then do something about changing these thoughts. There are important ways in which you can help yourself. You need to go from negative internal thinking to positive internal thinking. It's easy to fall into the trap of beating yourself up internally and criticizing yourself all the time. Look, looking for ways to improve is good, but blaming yourself because you have failed to achieve it is not good. It is important to try to avoid negative thinking in your internal dialogue. One way to do this is to consciously change what you are thinking. If you hear yourself thinking something negative, focus immediately on something positive instead. For example, instead of thinking about what you did wrong, think about what you will do differently the next time, or what you have learned, or even what you did well. In your mind, picture dropping the negative thought down a well. Picture the negative thought, then picture it falling down a well that you never see it again. Your negative internal dialogue often tends to focus on the past, what might have been, and the future, what might be. Focusing on the present, therefore, both quietens your internal dialogue a little, and it also helps you concentrate on and appreciate what is happening now. This is the basis of mindfulness. Now, here is one for the battle of the mind. One way to change the direction of your thoughts, and particularly to prevent yourself from wanting more or less to think about what you have to be grateful for. This helps you to be more positive because you are looking for the good in life. This will help quieten your negative thinking. Tell yourself what you are grateful for. I am grateful that my car is still running. I am grateful that I have lights in my home. I am grateful that I have a house. I'm grateful that I have children. I am grateful that I have a husband. I'm grateful that my boss is not stupid. See, there's a list of things that you can make to why you are grateful. The more things that you say to yourself that you have to be grateful in your life, the better you will feel. We all have moments where our internal dialogue seems to go off on the rails all by itself and can spiral into a negative tirade. When you feel this is happening to you, it can be helpful to actually tell yourself to stop, as this pulls you up short and reminds you that this is unhelpful. Some people find that a firm but gentle mental note and asserting to yourself, stop it, will help you pull the reins in on your thoughts. You need to experiment with this when negative thoughts begin to appear in your mind. This technique is not easy. Controlling your internal dialogue takes time and practice. Like any other mental exercise or practice, it takes time to learn how to listen to yourself and how to identify negative thoughts as soon as they begin. First, you will find that it's difficult to control negative internal thoughts. But the more you practice, the easier it will get. Although there will be times when you'll struggle, but you will get better and better at controlling your negative thoughts. You have to fight these negative thoughts with your accomplishments and with what you are grateful for. It is important that you do not beat yourself up if you are not successful all the time in defeating your negative thoughts. Stop looking for excuses to beat yourself up. Get up to experience and move on. The next time it will be easier. What really matters is how we think and our ability to fight back. One of the hardest negative thoughts to fight against are those thoughts that were told to us by our parents and our school teachers, especially those thoughts when they told us that we wouldn't amount to anything. You fight this thought by telling yourself, I can, I will achieve, and I will work hard to make a good life for myself and family. To quiet your mind, try taking a few deep breaths. Hold it for 3 to 5 seconds before exhaling. This is a tried and true way to relieve anxiety and slow your body down. Your body needs oxygen and it will slow everything down based on your breathing. When your breathing is under control, you are under control. Once you have regulated your breathing, you have regulated the rest of your body's behavior. Once you can hear yourself internally, start to explain the way you want things to go, this meeting to go, the way you want this presentation to go, the way you imagine things being with your friends. Once you walk yourself through the success and your visualization where you want to take these circumstances, you can begin to act on your plan. Slowing everything down will help you feel in control of the situation. Once you feel in control, your anxiety will fade. This is your tapping into your power and growing your self esteem. You are beginning to live the life you were destined to. You are becoming your truest self, and your truest self will design for your success. You work hard. You are deserving of respect and success to live a life full of meaningful friendships and love. When speaking to yourself in your internal dialogue, do not fall back into the discussion of what is wrong and what anxieties you should feel. Speak confidently and assuredly. Use your experiences in which you have succeeded previously, the memories of great work and tremendous events with friends, how everyone appreciated your work or your company. If you aren't positive, you're going to be trapped with the negative feelings that you've been trying to avoid. Stay positive. If you are able to slow down your mind, like I know you're capable of, and if you're able to speak to yourself with kindness, as we all can, you will be able to tap into the energy that makes you who you are, the energy that you can build from your self esteem and your self worth. You can shed this anxiety and work toward your goal and achieve the relationships that you covet. You will learn about your truest self and become the happiest and most fulfilled person you've ever been. So take a breath, regroup, and join us all in our battle to tap into our energy and to grow our best selves. Everything we need to achieve our inner power and inner peace is within us. But on our own, we struggle to tap into this. We have so much power deep within us, and it goes untapped for days, weeks, years, or most of our lives. This power can change your life. It can make you more confident, successful, and give your life a new meaning. What we need to learn more than anything is how to quiet our mind and how to truly connect with ourselves as we seek to tap into this energy that can make us the best possible version of ourselves. As a society, we are struggling with anxiety epidemics. You may feel awkward or uncomfortable during social situations. Maybe you slink down into your chair or you bite your fingernails. You avoid being a part of the conversation. You hide from your friends because you are uncomfortable. Maybe you pass up an opportunity at work because you don't want to step on anyone's toes or to speak up in a meeting out of fear or saying the wrong thing or being repudiated by a supervisor. Falling victim to your anxieties and fears weaken your standing with yourself. I'll say it again. Falling victim to your anxieties and fear weakens your standing with yourself. It prevents you from becoming the best version of yourself. Now, listen to this. You must stand up for yourself to yourself. Again, you must stand up for yourself to yourself. You have to know that you are stronger than the urges you are feeling in that moment, that you have something to contribute, that you deserve happiness and success. You need to be able to communicate with yourself honestly and completely. You have to stand up to yourself for yourself. Your self confidence has to be stronger than your self doubt. Your self confidence has to be stronger than your self doubt. You got to this point in life. You know what you are capable of. It all depends on teaching yourself how to handle your anxiety and how to reestablish who you are in the face of a problem that is rapidly grabbing a hold of so many people. The first step in tapping into your inner power is quieting your mind so that you can properly conduct an internal dialogue. This is going to take some time to do well. Your mind is going so fast with all the ways things can go wrong, and you just needed to calm down enough to present to it the things that are going to go well. The right way, the successful way, the way you have been planning for, the way that you deserve on your road to happiness. Finally, anytime you are attempting a change, you must look at your behavior. If you are starting a new job, or if you are starting a new relationship, or if you are opening a new business, and all your money is riding on your customer relations, you must look at your behavior. What you do or do not do is going to dictate your success. That is all there is to it. Even your relationships with your children depend on your behavior. You can say to yourself, just because you go to work every day, that you're a good parent, but that is not necessarily so. You are not a good parent if you are bullying your children, if you expect them to think the way you think or act the way you act. You can tell your spouse you are a good wife or a good husband, but that is not necessarily so, especially if you are a bully in the relationship. This is why I reviewed these subjects today, because I want you to give these subjects serious thought with respect to your behavior. You do not want to lose your job or think about your behavior, nor do you want to get a divorce and learn about your bad behavior, nor do you want your son to end up in prison because of your bad behavior. Then it is too late to make things better. Making things better now is reviewing your behavior. I want to impress upon you that your behavior toward others will, in part, most of the time, determine your future. Gossiping at work, gossiping at church, and gossiping in the neighborhood, and not minding your own business can destroy your relationship and your ability to get a promotion at work and your ability to maintain good friendships. All of these relationships, church, work, and neighborhood, are important in your life, not only to you, but to your spouse and to your children. Your reputation spills out on your family, like it or not. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Reading is one of the most important activities that a person can participate in. A world of information is available to you. This information can help you shape and change not only your life, but the lives of your children and spouse. Visit the website touchedbythelight.us and find yourself a book to read. For more information, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Dear, male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers, and you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show with an ear for understanding. Thank you. This video was brought to you by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries. Why not email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com and learn about the programs we have to assist women. We welcome women who wish to participate. Surely you have a few hours each month to help us with one of our programs. We believe that one of our programs, Recruiting Citizens, The Wall Project, Black Women in Cancer, Teach Someone to Read, will interest you, where you might volunteer once a month to help us. Our primary function is to assist women in changing their lives. Email us today. We would appreciate your help. Join us at the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.